Well, you know, the president is going to get a trade deal, the authority to exact a trade deal and have Congress vote up or down on that trade deal without amendments, but no thanks to a certain party. Now, you know this party, the one that predictably stops anything that makes good economic sense and prevents the White House from making good on helping the American worker, the one that would sooner stop by procedure anything that doesn't help its collective politics. Of course, you know that party. Or do you? Because I'm not talking about Republicans. I'm talking about Democrats. They are the ones blocking the president's trade deal, not the Republicans working with the president to save that trade deal. Because while you wouldn't know it following the mainstream press, it is Democrats pressing the president to not do this deal or any deal that they can't attach a lot of worker-friendly rules to or union worker rules to. Republicans are trying to assure him the votes so the president can override them. They, like the president, see the value in dropping trade barriers between some of our biggest Asian trading partners right now and others to follow if we get rid of sanctions and tariffs that hurt us all. Now, that is a common sense business sell and a no-brainer for the American worker, at least those advocating these deals say. But anything but for union-beholden Democrats who don't seem much to care for the American worker. It's not that simple, not that black and white, but it is amazing to see that Republicans are in this odd role of helping a president who's trouble with his own party. On this, they see common ground with a president with whom they'll happily work. I hope this wakes us all up to the phoniness of many Democrats who these days are more like a collective piece of work. Former Best Buy CEO Brad Anderson and radio host, Tea Party activist, and guy with the coolest voice in all of media, David Webb, who agree compromise is only the way forward. So, Dave, on this, you're not tickled pink with all these type of trade deals and all, but it is ironic where you note that everyone bashes Republicans are not being cooperative. They're being very cooperative.
Yeah, and look who's aligning against the president on this. It's the people to his left, Elizabeth Warren. It's the AFL-CIO. I get texts on a daily basis. Her name is
Liz, just so you know.
Oh, it's Liz.
It's Liz. But
you know, but just to get it straight. Yeah. But, you know, the AFL-CIO, they send me texts every day. They may not know I get them, but go against this deal. This is an alignment of special interests. My bigger problem with this whole thing is fast track, which is this process, is potentially dangerous when either side has full control. We don't get transparency and accountability in the deal. We're a republic. That means our representatives should have a say. And in fast track, they don't get a say. They don't get to amend. They do get an up or down vote.
They get to reject it.
They get to reject it. Right. The question is, do we trust Washington anymore, Republicans or Democrats?
Enough do, though, Brad, and enough share David's skepticism, but we'll get to the point of saying trade deals that become bogged down and all this stuff end up being trade deals that never get realized, and that it is worth it to give a president, be he Republican or Democrat, this authority. What do you say to that?
Well, I'd say this actually is it's a pretty good reason to trust Washington in this case, because it is a Democratic president putting a historic trade deal through, and it is the support of the Republicans that are going to make that happen. It's both parties, I think, acting in a kind of politically unconventional way that I think is very much in the interest of the American public. And I think you want as little as you can to slow that down.
She's facing a devil of resistance right now on the left. The aforementioned Elizabeth Warren and others who say such a deal is a surrender and it hurts union guys, union workers. Ironically, it was her husband that secured a lot of some of the biggest trade deals we know. NAFTA comes to mind, and it's haunting her. Is that a problem for her?
Well, I think part of the reason she can successfully run is the successful presidency of Bill Clinton built on things like the NAFTA deal, which, by the way, was also done with Republican support. So
what do you think?
I'm not sure what she actually believes in this context, but it's hard for me to believe that Hillary doesn't really know
what you actually and truthfully believe is unimportant at this time, and don't get sidetracked by morals, Brad. All right, so, David, on this, what do you think happens?
On this, I think the Republicans give the president the authority. It goes through, and then we see, like NAFTA, both the negative and the positive effects come out of this. Here's the problem. We don't get to see what's in the deal.
What could go wrong? That's how healthcare
What could
went.
possibly go wrong? Exactly. Let's pass it before we can see what's in it.
So would you argue Republicans,
get rid of fast track. I don't care whether it's a Republican in charge or a Democrat in charge. We are a republic form of government. Therefore, our elected representatives should have a say
you know how long
on our behalf.
Elected representatives drag it out.
Sometimes but I'm not going to throw away the Constitution for some expedient 20-year policy.
This is a big deal. This piece of paper, the Constitution. I forgot. Kidding. So, Brad, what happens? You argue as a business guy that when all is said and done, it's good to do business with all guys. Drop tariffs and sanctions and all that, right?
Yeah, and it speaks to the self-confidence about the U.S. economy, that we're strong enough that we can engage in very open trade agreements and benefit the American worker.
But we're
and
not
benefit
doing.
the economy.
There's nothing open about
You're not
this.
saying there's anything open. Yeah, that's what he's
Yeah,
saying.
well,
in a far
I'd like,
deeper voice.
no, I don't see anything wrong with the agreement the way it's set up.
Yeah.
But who's read the agreement? Here's my question. Who knows what's in this
That's true.
agreement that's being put forward, and where have the American people's voices been brought into this?
All right, fair enough. It's only because you're very scary, Dave. I'm not arguing with you here. I thought you were going to be on remote, so then I'd be a lot more break. But Dave,
I love you, Neil.
Brad, yes, I love you too, man.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back.